Hey, wow, fuck that guy up.
Yeah, ruined his whole day.
Yeah, man. He was just doing his job, Steven.
Whatever.
Welcome back, everybody, to Super Thomas Bros. Super Flower Fuckers. And,
I'm gonna go into this pot and see.
Nice opening there. Very cool. Very cool. So yeah, we, over the break, we were talking about, stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff happened.
Cool stuff. Only cool kids could talk about.
Yeah, sorry, we can't talk about the show because there might be not cool kids watching. Sorry. Sorry that they had to ruin it for everybody else. Inside the pot O gold. I just noticed that. Not pot of gold. O gold. It's very important.
Okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm assuming I shoot eggs in here. Or maybe I poop them in.
I have no fucking idea.
I don't know.
I thought you were going to look up a guide.
They just said shoot the eggs into the holes or something like that. Like, that's wasn't really...
How more descriptive could they possibly be, Steven? I can't talk. I'm drunk. Well, okay.
Fucker.
Got him good.
Yep. I'm gonna just choose regular eggs. Okay. So...
Which holes are they fucking talking about?
I think they're talking about these. Are they... Oh, okay.
I can't fucking see the screens. Oh, okay.
Heck.
Oh, but yeah, we're still having video problems, everybody, by the way. I can see... I can't even describe what I'm seeing. It's not the game.
Heck.
I mean, it should be, but it's not. But yeah.
Maybe... grenade eggs here. Shoot them here. Nope. Oh, there we go. So I guess you shoot them from a distance. That's the thing. There's these holes in the middle that I'm shooting. And oh, fuck. Fucking ginger piece of shit.
Back.
You fuck. Fuck. Oh, you're dead.
Oh, okay.
Fuck you. Okay. Anyway, so you shoot the eggs from a distance. And, okay, I get golden eggs, I guess. And the whole inside is lit up by images of jiggies. So...
Oh, you gotta shoot them all?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I have to hit 75 jiggies in 45 seconds.
Alright, well, good luck.
Alright. Ready, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
So yeah, over the break we were talking about books. Steven said that he was planning on reading Carl Sagan's Cosmos.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. I've never read it myself, but I'm sure it's good stuff. I told him that he should read Ready Player One because it's awesome. I like it a lot. And we were also talking about what were we? We were talking about people who say that certain games are better than others. It's like you're already like you fucking nailed this. It wasn't a very hard mini game, was it?
Yeah, hopefully not. Well, I mean, I don't know if I have to shoot them all. Like, is there 75 in total?
She said 75.
Okay, so I got 91.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get first and second prize. There we go.
It had the score at the bottom.
Oh.
You dingus.
I wasn't even looking. I was just so busy.
Such a dingus.
Guess. Get lost then. This game's too good for you anyway. Fuck you, Grunty, you piece of shit.
Fuck you. Skeleton whore.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You got pranked, bro.
Just got pranked, bro.
So yeah, we were talking about... So what started it was a while ago, I guess it was game FAQs. They had some sort of... There you go.
Okay,
wow. They had a poll that was like, what's the greatest game of all time? I think they do it like every year maybe, or like every now and then. And Undertale was a new contender because it had come out recently. And
I forgot when that came out. It was like September or October of 2015.
Something
like around there. So it was, and this poll was going on, if I'm not mistaken, it was like in October, maybe November or something like that. Like,
yeah, it was very shortly after it gained
a couple months maybe.
Like a lot of popularity, which, don't get me wrong, I really, really like the game. I haven't played it myself, but I watched Steam Train do both runs through it, and I think I watched Commander Holly's also. And I know a lot of other people have played through it on YouTube and stuff. It's a very good game, in my opinion. I think it's a very good game. But here's the problem. When you have a poll that says, what's the greatest game of all time? You have a problem, because when you say, what's the greatest game of all time, what you really should be asking is, what is your favorite game of all time? And there's a big difference between those statements, because when you say what is best or what is better, you're making a truth statement. You're making an objective decision about something. And this is what we were talking about over the break. And I think it's important for me to talk about this because I do think this is true.
Yeah.
There's certain aspects of a video game that you cannot objectively compare to another video game, no matter how hard you want to try it. You could look at a game that what's a really shitty game that people always talk about it being really shitty?
Wait, what's a shitty game
that's like the Troll 2 of video games?
Okay, like E.T. maybe on the Atari?
Okay, yeah, like E.T. It's infamous for being so shitty, like it's like the Meg of video games, You can't, like, no matter how bad so many people say a certain game is versus how many people say a certain game is good, you still can't say that game is better than that game. Because, and I'll get into why I believe this, but you can't do it because there are certain aspects to a game that are completely subjective, that when you're dealing with subjective things like this, you can't say one is better than the other because it's subjective. There's no objective basis to make a comparison. So here's the way I look at it, and this is what I told Steven. And feel free to jump in whenever.
Yeah.
So what I said was there are two main aspects to a video game besides like marketing and monetary gain and stuff like that. Like if you're just looking at a game by itself without thinking about how it affected society, or how well it performed like as a product, if you're looking just at the game, there are two main aspects to the game. There's the design of the game, and there's the implementation of that design. So basically, and in the production process, the two kind of influence, well, obviously the design influences the implementation of the design, but sometimes the design changes because there are limitations to implementations and stuff. But assuming that you look at the design for what it is, the design of the game itself essentially dictates how the game works. So you have, your story written, your characters design, the art done, and everything like that. That's how the game is designed. And then you have how the game is implemented, which goes into, the programming, and you have to cut some things, like especially with like cartridge games because they had a very limited amount of storage and stuff like that. So there's the two main aspects for a game are how it's designed and how it's implemented. The implementation of a design is objective because it deals with hardware and software limitations. It deals with the skill of the development team. It depends on I guess like time constraints, stuff like that. So things that you could say, oh, this could have been done better, or there's a glitch in this game that the designers of the game didn't plan on because of an issue with the implementation. Those things are objective. So you could say like, oh, this game is better than this game because the implementation of the design was more on point than this other game. This other game, the programmers were drunk and they fucked up, something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, I should just add, though, with the E.T. game, I think that there was a little bit of that, though, in it, like with the...
Oh, sure. Yeah, and that happens with every game. Even Banjo-Kazooie was plagued with, like, time constraints. There's a lot, like, levels were cut, and there's, like, assets that should have been cut but were left in that people have found and stuff like that.
Like
so
eggs.
Things like that you can talk, because there's, like, objectively speaking, that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
stuff like
bad.
that happen. Yeah. But when you're looking just at the design of a game, how it's written, how the designers wanted to invoke emotions in the players and the mood that they were trying to invoke, and how they felt the game might be like that kind of stuff. Like when you're writing a story, basically. That stuff is completely subjective, and it goes into the philosophical realm of aesthetics, which by nature, in my opinion, by nature is completely subjective and cannot be compared in terms of what's better than the other. You can't say, for the example that we were talking about, that Undertale is a better game than Ocarina of Time, because when you're talking about, like, is a game better than the other, what you're kind of talking about in general is the design of the game. Is the story better? Is the artwork better? Is the emotions that it invoked better? Are your memories playing it better than the memories playing this other game? That kind of stuff like that is on a person-by-person basis, which, if you want to make a poll, is fine, but you don't say what's a better game. You say what's your favorite game, or what game do you like better. There's a key subjective component there, and I think that's why there's so much clashing that happen. It's the same exact thing with music. You can't say, this Weezer album is better than this Justin Bieber album. I'm not saying I'm a fan of Justin Bieber, but you can't say one thing is better than the other because they're completely different subjective things. You just can't do it. There's no way around it. You can't say one is better than the other. You can maybe say this, like, if you're talking about best jazz albums and you have some kind of objective characteristics that define what jazz is, you could say, this album fits better within my definition of the jazz genre than this album does.
But even still, you're saying that's your opinion of how you see how you think jazz is, like...
Yeah, like that, even defining genres itself is kind of a subjective thing, but if you write hard definitions that people agree on, then they could agree on the same type of thing. But just an overall blanket statement, this game is better than another game, it doesn't work. Because when you're comparing two designs, they're completely different. So it's completely fine for you to say, I like Undertale better than Ocarina of Time, or I like Ocarina of Time better than Undertale. That's a completely valid statement, because that's a value statement. That's something that affects you, and it depends on your experiences, it depends on your memories, your nostalgic value, your tastes in general. So I think a lot of drama that happened as a result of that poll on game FAQs could have been avoided if people kept that in mind. But, you're dealing with, stupid internet assholes who don't understand the difference between objectivity and subjectivity.
Yeah, and keep in mind, too, we're not saying that people, who thought Undertale or people who thought Ocarina of Time was a better game are, stupid. We're just saying that they're, some people just take it way too seriously. I guess in a way we are kind of taking it a bit seriously, but we're kind of talking about it more of, logically speaking. We're not trying to come up and say, we're not trying to put our opinion of what we thought was a better game or not into this. We're not yelling at someone and saying, well, no, this game is better.
That's the root of the problem, is you can't point at somebody and say you're wrong because you think this game is better than this game, and I know that that game is better than this game. That you can't do that because you can't compare two subjective things like design and art, which is fundamentally what a game design is, an aesthetic thing, just like art and music is.
Yeah.
You can't compare two subjective things in an objective manner. It just can't be done. So, I mean, you could...
it's even like for me, for example, like, I mean, like if someone were to ask me what's my favorite band, I mean, there's a lot of bands that I like that have different genres, but I can't answer the question, what do I think is the best band? Because in what way are you asking that question? Like,
yeah.
What? And even still, even if someone said, what's your favorite band? Yeah, I probably have an answer for that. But even that is kind of hard because, you know, there's just different feelings that I get with certain genres that certain bands have and stuff like that. It's just, you know, it's something that's, you know, it's... Even if you're asking what's your favorite game, it might be kind of hard to answer. I mean, in some ways, I think maybe like Portal 2 might be like one of my favorite games, but in other ways, maybe, you know, I don't know, Roller Coaster Tycoon is a, but they're like two completely different types of games. It's hard to compare one another, you know. So even asking myself what I think my favorite game is hard. Let alone asking a bunch of people what the best game is.
Yeah, that's the major difference. There's a huge difference between asking somebody what is the best game versus what is your favorite game. There's a fundamental difference in those questions. Like not too long ago, I saw a poll, maybe on the Rolling Stones magazine website, which is trash, by the way. But I'm not allowed to say that because it's subjective. But it was something along the lines of like, what is the best American musician? Like, you can't talk about Beatles and Pink Floyd and, you know, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
You can't, you know, because they're British. So, you know, fine, you can filter it that way. You can say, oh, it's American because the band was formed in America and the, you know, members are American people. You know, okay, you can filter it. That's fine. But you get to comparing them in terms of what? Skill, taste, maybe how many records they've sold. You know, that doesn't work. You know, if you say like, oh, you know, Ocarina of Time is better than Undertale because Ocarina of Time sold, you know, so
way
many
more
million
copies, or something like that.
So many copies, yeah.
That still doesn't work.
It doesn't work because then you're not judging whether the game is better. You're judging whether the game is more popular, or specifically, it's sold better. You know, a game might be amazing, but might be marketed poorly. And if it were marketed better, or maybe published by a bigger company, it would have sold better and then would have been more popular and people would have said it's better. So comparing two things, their goodness, so to speak, based on their popularity is a fallacy. I think that is like a well-known fallacy. I think it's called the popularity fallacy. This is a disgusting room, by the way.
Yeah, it's another mini game essentially.
Oh, okay.
Just have to shoot these junk monsters.
Yeah. But yeah, like this poll was like, you know, what is the best American musician / band? And I think the top rate, like a few of the highest rated ones were like Jimi Hendrix was like a top one.
Probably
you
Bob
know,
Dylan.
Yeah.
Or Eagles, I think would probably be. I think they're American, right? Eagles.
I can't remember.
I thought the Eagles, they came out of Los Angeles, didn't they?
Well, no, but
but you can't remember what was on the list.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or like what won, because it was a trash poll for trash people. But because I remember thinking about it specifically when I was looking at the poll, it was like, what is the best band? Not what is your favorite
band.
There's a big difference there, and it bugs me. And what I try when people ask me questions like, you know, what's your favorite type of music? Or, well, no, like questions that could be interpreted both ways, I always try to push the conversation in a way where I make it clear that my opinions are opinionative, not truth statements. Because it's very easy to fall into that pattern accidentally. You see so many, classic rock enthusiasts that talk shit on, Justin Bieber, for example. Justin Bieber is the fucking Jeff Dunham of music, you know what I mean? Like, or the Dane Cook. No, the Dane Cook, I guess, would be like Creed or Nickelback. But again, stuff like that. Sure, it's fun to joke about. Why not? But if you really want to talk serious...
Yeah. So where you're getting into, like, internet arguments and shit like that, with people... making threats and stuff, too.
Yeah, shit like that. Like, they take it way too seriously, and they're fucking wrong. So... way to be a violent asshole and still be incorrect. You know what I mean? and I'm not saying incorrect because they like the wrong thing. I mean incorrect because they're claiming they're claiming one thing is better than the other. That's the one, like I can't ever say, oh, this thing is better than the other, and they're both, aesthetic things.
Yeah.
I can't ever claim that, but the one thing I can claim is that you cannot claim, you know what I mean? Like, the one truth is...
And all of this is
that subjective things cannot be compared in an objective setting.
Yeah.
And you might be saying, oh, if you can't claim one band is better than the other, how can you claim that we can't compare them at all? And to that I say, I don't know, read some shit on the philosophy of aesthetics and subjectivity, maybe. I'm not saying that I'm, a philosophy major, but Steven is.
Even still, I'm a philosophy minor. And
sure.
I know who the best band is.
Oh, okay.
By the way, so I know the answers to these questions because I'm a philosophy minor. So
right.
That's actually that's the main thing. It's like, oh well, if you're a philosophy minor, now I know the perfect aesthetic. I know.
That's hard to say. So it would be really fun for me to be able to see what you're doing. Just by the way.
Okay, so I'm in the trash can now, and I got a Jiggy. And I just got a Jinjo.
Nice. I can hear it. I can hear that. I don't mean for you to explain what's happening. I'm just saying it would be nice if I could fucking see it.
Sorry.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's really because this hasn't happened before. This sort of glitch hasn't happened. And it's frustrating to know that you can't see everything that's going on.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I know for you it's a worse feeling because you're the one who can't see it.
I'll see it when I do the editing.
Yeah.
I just can't see it now, which sucks.
Well, actually, that's a good time for us to sort of talk a little bit out of, context of the game, which, I mean, we always do anyway, but even more so, because, if you can't really see the game, then there's really no point in trying to be like, well, wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? We could kind of just have a
that's
discussion.
why I brought up the whole subjective versus objective thing, because we were talking about it, and I think it's a good topic to talk about. And, what's going on here? I see.
I got 9 Jiggies.
Oh, okay, you're leaving.
So, because the 10th Jiggy I can't get because,
it's Canary Mary.
Yeah, and I have to beat that thing in the 2nd level. So,
okay.
I'm not going back there yet. What I'm gonna do is go to the Honey Lady, and I think I remember saying this before, like at the end of our last session of this game, that I was gonna go to the Honey Lady and then get an extra health, and then I never did. So...
okay. Well, before you do that, we have to say next time on Super Thomas Bros, because it's a very long episode.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you everybody for watching. Please leave a comment telling us what you think about this, or don't.
Maybe you could talk
I'm
about.
not a fucking cop.
Maybe you could talk about the trash fight I had with the trash monsters. Too, if you want.
I don't know what that means, but that sounds like fun. So we'll catch you guys next time.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. Wow. What? Trash? What?
when I was fighting with Kazooie, the trash monsters, and then I got the Chiggy.
I couldn't see shit.
Oh, well, sorry.
Dang it.
I was fighting trash monsters.